Hello everyone and welcome back to another update video. I'm going to be doing things a little bit differently. I believe it's very wise or just a good idea to talk about current market fears, what the outlook is for the rest of the year, as well as some other topics I have up here for you guys, including some Plan B stuff, some cryptos R Us stuff, and then just some Federal Reserve interest rate expectations for soon, later this year. So everything I'm going to say in this video is just my own personal opinion. It is how I view the current market situation as well as my own general opinion. None of this is financial advice. So if you guys do want to know what's going on short term with Bitcoin chart as well as Marathon Digital Holdings and MicroStrategy, I have some videos that you guys can look at. There are some recent videos. You guys can find them pretty easily on my account if you're interested. But to get started, quite simply, we all know that Bitcoin has been trading underneath all-time highs for quite some time now, like many months, and we are well overdue, or at least the belief is that we are well overdue for a new all-time high. Especially since I say this in a lot of my videos, and a lot of you agree with me, and there's a lot of articles out there that say the same thing. uh, you know, End of the year expectation, we should see $100,000 at least being hit sometime by the end of this year, which is very bullish, especially since that's almost a 100% rise from current prices. It's actually 62%. It was almost 100% when we were down at 50. It was pretty much 100% there, but um, yeah, there's a lot of fear going on. There's like recession fears. There's a lot of people, you know, being or gaining nervousness, if I should say that correctly, about Bitcoin is down for so long. Why hasn't it broke higher? That haven't even happened. Why hasn't that helped the price move higher as well? Like what is going on? And it's kind of fearing people out. The real like non-believers of Bitcoin, the people that aren't really um, that shouldn't be in, for example, crypto at all, or even Bitcoin, which in my opinion is the most conservative crypto out there. It has a lot less aggressive fluctuations than, of course, a lot of the other smaller cap coins. But the people that aren't supposed to be here, the true non-believers, or the people that are just in here in crypto or in Bitcoin just for the hype, are the ones being flushed out. They're the ones that shouldn't be here, so the market's flushed them out. That's how at least I see it. This extended um, corrective move that we've been seeing here with Bitcoin is completely, in my opinion, um, great, because we can continue to add more to our Bitcoin positions. If you hold any ETFs or Bitcoin ETFs, or however you are planning to play this, rather you are a MicroStrategy Bitcoin investor, like if you are trying to gain exposure through Bitcoin through another company, regardless, is all a great time for accumulating, and that's why there's been a lot of inflows, and I'm going to get into a little bit of that in a moment, from a lot of these larger institutions. So I want to go over through a few things real quick. So a lot of you are I'm sure a lot of you are familiar with Cryptos R Us. Amazing, amazing YouTuber. I love his content. I watch it every single day he posts. Incredible, smart individual. And so actually, it's probably better if before we jump into this, we go into here. So we all know that interest rates has been held steady for quite some time now. If you guys were keeping up to date, and you guys can correct me if I'm wrong if you have a different opinion, but if you've been keeping up to date with what Jerome Powell, head of the Federal Reserve, right here, this man, has been, saying that he's looking for interest rates or inflation to be in the trajectory towards 2% before he is looking to potentially start cutting rates. On the last Fed meeting, we all know that he said that he was planning to cut during that meeting, or already begin the process of easing with interest rates. Although he said that he wants to wait a little bit more, and this could be due to there's been some negative news on employment. Although, just recently, I think like a day or two ago, we had some pretty solid positive news come out. But at the end of the day, it is something that is keeping a lot of growth assets down. Of course, due to a higher interest rate environment, it's not very good for crypto or even crypto mining companies or any kind of tech company that is looking to heavily um, hold Bitcoin because they believe in it. They want their balance sheets to show and reflect uh, their um, their approvalness of Bitcoin, if I should say, if that makes sense. But yeah, you know now we are under the expectation that there's an interest rate um, cut coming in September, and what that looks like is quite simply, if you guys watch Crypto Zeus's this video, the one that says Bitcoin faces critical test, he goes over what interest rate expectations are if we're going to be looking at potentially the possibility of a early non-scheduled rate cut, which can be um, I wouldn't say it's a surprise if a lot of people are kind of like somewhat expecting the possibility of that happening due to markets recently showing some strength. I do not believe we're going to have an unscheduled early interest rate cut, although things can happen. We still have the rest of August, and then we have half of September before we have another interest rate meeting or interest rate news, or Fed meeting, however you want to call it. It is there's still quite some time, so the market can do anything. The market can continue to fall to the floor, fall further as we continue to wait. But if things kind of like stay somewhat steady or doesn't show more weakness, then we're just looking for a regular potential rate cut in mid-September. So it's all very exciting. He kind of goes over this, what the percentage possibilities as of the time of um, of him recording this, as well as if you guys are familiar with clear value tax, he talks about that as well. There's a lot of hints or a lot of things that are being said that are very bullish in my opinion, and it kind of restore or reminds everyone that even when bearish movements occur, we all understand that it's just a small, it's just something that's happening. It started happening like probably just over a week ago, and this is all just like short-term stuff that there really shouldn't be a reason why a lot of people are selling out of their positions so much. Rather, it's growth, or even like the Nasdaq and S&P took a nice dip recently. A lot of people are freaking out, even though this is of course a short-term, um, just negativity. It's nothing to really worry about. And then he also spoke, and you guys can like look up these. It's all public information. You can look this up yourself. I just wanted to have everything in one page and kind of go over Cryptosaurus's view and his, or kind of skip through his video so I can show you guys, just because it makes it easier. But you have a lot of outflows like GBTC, Grayscale, it's still outflowing, but you have BlackRock still buying in, and he talks about um, how a lot of these larger institutions are taking advantage of this dip because they know Bitcoin is going to be much, much higher very soon. Speaking in a sense of like very soon, like a few months from now, or even possibility even by the end of this month in August, we could potentially see all-time highs being retested. It is all extremely possible, especially um, as more confidence that an interest rate cut will happen very soon. That's going to push things higher. We have so much inflow, so much larger institutions buying into Bitcoin, knowing that it's the time. It's the time to be buying this asset. So crypto, check him out. He's an incredible person, and I really enjoy. He's pretty much. I get most of my news from Cryptosaurus. Actually, he's quite intelligent on that. But we also have Plan B. Plan B, also known as 100 trillion USD. He is also very bullish on Bitcoin. If you guys are familiar with um, his videos, or at least if you follow him on X or Twitter, you will all know that he on his most recent video that came out earlier this month in August. Um, his charts that if I'm correct, he created these himself. He all the charts that he talks about, he creates himself, and he gets all the information himself. Makes sense of it himself, but he still urges everyone that do your own research, and of course that's quite important. But it kind of makes sense itself, like if there was somewhat of a serious weakness in Bitcoin, if there was some kind of negativity or true bearishness that we should be paying attention to, um, we would have seen potentially even yellow, where we start seeing the beginning of a bear market form. But no, instead we continue to see red dots, which means we are still in a bull market, and this can stretch out and start bringing us well above $100,000. Um, and I agree. I do agree that of course we're still in a bull market. Like, it's been not that long since, and also in one of his previous videos on Plan B, he says um, it takes like 4 to 8 months, and he does have a let me see if it's in any of these. No, this is a moving average, and we have stock to flow, Bitcoin realized gains. Well, it's probably somewhere, especially if you look at it in his last video, it'll show up. But he talks about Bitcoin mining revenue, how it takes 4 to 8 months for it to recover from it being halved. Of course, halving event, the revenue gets cut in half, because that's how the inflation rate of Bitcoin occurs, where half of the supply gets the supply gets cut in half every 4 years. And he says that 4 to 8 months, and he has a nice chart to go with it. It takes for Bitcoin revenue or Bitcoin mining revenue to recover, and then once that recovers, that is also one of the main factors that pushes Bitcoin into a euphoria stage, where it kind of starts doing something like this, where you see that nice rally occur. And according to his stock to flow model here for Bitcoin, we can potentially see Bitcoin reach this, just like it has before many times. Every time it starts to flirt with this gray line somewhere up here, and that's quite strong, especially since we know Bitcoin uh, over time kind of does a little bit more of like a descaling kind of uh, rising long term, how do you say, moving average in a way. Uh, so it is very, very tough, although it's extremely possible, and I am in no means saying it's not. But for Bitcoin to go up, so this is 100,000 right here, and 200,000, 300,000, 400,000. So between like $400 to $500,000 is where the potential top minimum could be for Bitcoin. Although personally, I do believe, um, 150,000 to 250,000. It's much more conservative. It's something I'm more happy with. It's something that seems more realistic, just because we don't want to be too optimistic where we wait too long to start maybe selling off of your swing trade, and then causing you to sell a little too late, and then you're starting to offload when the price is going down, and that can happen very quickly. I'm very, very bullish on Bitcoin, and I do see this, going to at least $400,000 sometime next year. Extremely possible. Although, um, I have my estimates currently, conservative estimates, to be, and this is like, I honestly am more confident that we're going to break this area and go higher eventually. But between 115,000 to 150,000 is my conservative bull market top for Bitcoin, just because I'm trying to offload the majority of my uh, Bitcoin core position in this area, and then leave a little bit in case we do go higher, because I don't like to go too much into the extreme, just because like I'm not trying to time anything. I'm just trying to participate in it in a rally for most that I can, and then start offloading before it's too late. Although very realistically, 200,000 is should be where my minimum estimate. That's where I believe it should be. But I am gonna just keep this because I'm not trying to like I'm not trying to go too crazy on it. I'm still very bullish on Bitcoin, and I do believe in the future it will surpass $1 million eventually. But this cycle, I'm just being super conservative with it. I'm not trying to like stretch my position out as much as I can. But he does believe, according to his models, and according to history, and that we are going to reach, you know, at least $400,000, potentially, according to his charts. But we also have the Bitcoin RSI chart that he created here that he has going on, where we do see a little bit of a lower high every bull market top. Um, and he says that, of course, we haven't seen light red or even this orangey yellow color occur. Excuse me. So we have like this dark blue, purplish, and then we start going into like this red, and then eventually he says that he does believe it to rise much higher and reach over the 80 RSI mark right here. And I agree. I believe that this is, we did not see the bull market top yet. Like this just under basically $74,000 level. In my opinion, that's obviously not the bull market top. There's no way that's the bull market top. Um, we're definitely going to reach $100,000 by the end of this year, and then dramatically higher next year. But with just to sum everything up, with interest rates coming up soon, we have an extended Bitcoin correction that it is well overdue. What for Bitcoin to finally start breaking up higher and making new all-time highs. All this is falling perfectly in place. We have the interest rate cuts, presidential elections, which word is on the internet that it's going to be it's very important for Bitcoin. So we have presidential elections. I'm not trying to be political or anything. We have the interest rate cut coming real soon. We have finally, uh, real soon, we're going to start seeing all-time highs being broken, all happening like in the same time, right? And then we also have, by the time we start cutting interest rates, we should pretty much see Bitcoin mining revenue recover at a minimum the majority of the lost revenue. So everything is falling into place. I'm just letting you guys know that if you are one of the people that are expecting Bitcoin to fall much lower and see like crazy dips, like from the current structures we're looking at, it's very very unlikely, at least in my opinion, just because there's so much more buying going on there. And as we see a lot of this recession fears like go away, we're gonna see Bitcoin definitely go much, much, much higher. And I am personally, like I mentioned, participating in this, and you guys can see if you guys want to keep track of my core Bitcoin position. I do have a playlist on my channel here on YouTube called Bitcoin Portfolio Updates. I do weekly updates on my core Bitcoin position, and this week I added more to my position. Um, I hold 1.139 Bitcoin, and then I have a separate account where I'm accumulating a leveraged ETF share. So BitU, I did enough research where I'm comfortable buying BITU instead of, for example, IBIT, just because the leverage nature that BitU has, I'm very confident with. I believe it's a great time to be aggressive with Bitcoin, just because a lot of the things I just mentioned, and it's I sleep very well at night knowing that I am heavily focused on Bitcoin. But yeah, everything's happening pretty much at the same time. It's gonna be a perfect like alignment of all these large it's like news headlines coming out, and then we also have like of course mining revenue recovering, and then we have um, that's when we start seeing the more scarcity effect, the euphoria stage, and all that kick in with Bitcoin and push us much higher. And that's why I believe it's a very important time for those of you that are able to and fortunate enough to hold, like for example, positions for like more than 4 to 6 months at a minimum. Like Marathon Digital Holdings, I think it's an amazing Bitcoin mining company. I like to focus on that one a lot. I just do short-term trades on that. I'm taking, of course, like I mentioned, advantage of Bitcoin through the crypto itself and through the leveraged Bitcoin ETF BitU that I really like. And then also MicroStrategy. Like MicroStrategy is looking real good. Let me jump into Mara real quick. Like, I if you guys have been following my channel, you know that I'm looking for this area up here. I'm looking for Mara to top out during this cycle somewhere between $45 and $65. That's my estimate, and I'm sticking with it. Also, we just had a MicroStrategy stock split 10-1. So for those of you that were looking to accumulate more into MicroStrategy, this is amazing because MicroStrategy had a stock split potentially pretty much at the bottom of this Bitcoin corrective move. Like we just had the stock split, now it's trading at $135.52 as of this moment, and that happened pretty much right here, what potentially can be the bottom um, of Bitcoin. And if things go further up from now, pretty much we're never going to see this level again. Uh, if this is truly the bottom, we're just going to see prices go up so much more, and then when we finally have the bear market cycle, we may potentially not even bottom out in this level here anymore. Mara, very low. It reached our lowest support area down here, and we're starting to see prices climb a little bit, although we don't have confirmation of a price, a sustained rally just yet, because Bitcoin is still trying to do its thing. It's still trying to figure out if it's going to start rallying from here or consolidate a little bit more. But yeah, guys, like it's an incredible time to be alive with this technology. It's an incredible time to be able, and I'm very fortunate enough to participate in such an amazing, piece of technology, especially with interest rate cuts just around the corner, uh, Bitcoin mining revenue about to recover completely, and very pro crypto presidential elections coming up soon. But yeah, guys, and then the possibility of this corrective move finally about to start being just part of the past instead of still living in this corrective move. Like things are gonna happen quickly, and yeah, man, I'm really looking forward to the first interest rate cut. And if you guys understand, if you look at history, also if you were watching Clear Value's tax recent video where he talks about interest rates, um, Clear Value Tax says it's not all the time when you have an interest rate cut, you will not see a rally right away. Sometimes, you may, but sometimes it takes just a little bit of time before that kicks into inflating asset prices. So yeah, guys, we got some really good stuff coming up soon. I hope you guys are as optimistic, but at the same time with reason, on why Bitcoin and a lot of these other assets are looking to finally start making, um, some nice price appreciation soon. So yeah, guys, just stay up to date with the news. Be patient and always keep an eye on the bigger picture, because that's gonna prevent you from making any, or if you look at the bigger picture, you're just gonna think twice about any moves you want to make short term. Like, is it, are we in premium levels? Are we in discounted levels? It doesn't really make sense to start buying for short-term trades. Do we have any price imbalance or value gaps anywhere? Which we do right here. So potentially, the possibility, you see this, the top of this, let me go even closer. For those, I'm going to tailor a little bit towards short-term trading. We have the top of this candle right here and the bottom of this candle right here. All of this gap in the middle may act as a magnet to pull the price down a little bit before we potentially see higher prices from there. So just keep in mind, be patient, look at the bigger picture, guys. It's an amazing time to really, be part of this new tech. It's beautiful in my opinion. It really is. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you guys want to share your opinion on the interest rate cuts coming up soon, and what the current corrective move on Bitcoin looks like, you guys can share that down below in the comments, or join my free Discord group where we talk cryptos, we talk price structures, and we talk anything related to crypto. So yeah, guys, I hope to see you there. Social media is linked down below, as well as of course, I appreciate a like and subscribe, and it keeps me motivated and shows me that you guys do appreciate and enjoy my content. So yeah, take care, guys. I'll catch you guys in the next video.